Paul, be honest. What's the most embarrassing mistake you've ever made with English verbs?
Oh, I remember one clearly. I was at a restaurant, and I wanted to say, "I'll take the bill." But I said, "I'll bring the bill." The waiter looked so confused.
So you accidentally offered to bring the bill to yourself?
Exactly. I felt so stupid. I said bring instead of take.
You're not alone. This happens to almost every English learner. And today, we're going to fix it.
I hope so. That moment still makes me cringe.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever said I go to you instead of I come to you?
Probably. I still get confused with go and come.
That's exactly why we're doing this episode, because these small verbs are actually the most important ones.
They are.
Yes, you can survive with basic verbs. You cannot survive without knowing how to use go, come, get, take, put, and make.
I've never thought about it that way.
Think about it. How often do you use these words in one day?
All the time. I use them constantly.
Exactly. And if you're using them wrong, you're making mistakes all day long.
That's a little scary to think about.
It is, but we're going to fix it. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how to use these 6 verbs.
Just 6 verbs?
Just 6, but they're the 6 most important verbs in English.
Okay, I'm ready.
Today, we're going to learn 6 essential action verbs. These are the verbs you use every single day.
Which ones?
Go, come, get, take, put, and make.
That's only 6 words, but they have so many meanings.
Exactly. And that's why we need to understand them in context.
What do you mean, in context?
We're not going to memorize definitions. We're going to learn through real situations.
That sounds much more useful.
By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly when to use each verb, and you'll never confuse them again.
That's a big promise.
It is, but I can make it because these verbs follow simple rules.
So there's a logic to it?
There is. And once you understand the logic, it becomes easy.
Good. I like logic.
Let's start with the most basic pair, go and come. Let's start with go and come. These 2 verbs are about direction.
What's the rule?
Go is moving away from the speaker. Come is moving toward the speaker.
Can you give me an example?
If you're at home and your friend is at work, you say, I'll come to your office because you're going toward them.
So if I'm the speaker, come is toward me, go is away from me.
Exactly. And this is where most learners get confused.
So I should say, I'll come to you if I'm going to where they are.
Perfect. And I'll go to the store is away from where I am.
That's actually really simple.
It is simple, but you need to practice it in real situations.
Let me try. If I say I go to work, that's away from home.
Yes.
And if I say I come home, that's toward home.
Perfect. You're getting it.
So the formula is, come equal sign toward me, go equal sign away from me.
Exactly. That's it.
I think I've been overcomplicating this.
Most people do. But it's really just about perspective.
Perspective?
Yes. Where is the speaker standing? That determines whether you use go or come.
So if I'm speaking, I come toward myself and go away from myself.
That's the whole rule.
Why did no one explain it like this before?
Because most teachers overcomplicate it. But that's really all there is to it.
I feel like I just saved years of confusion.
Good. Now let's talk about the most flexible verb in English. Now let's talk about get. This is the most flexible verb in English.
Flexible?
Get can mean receive, become, arrive, or obtain. It depends on the context.
That's confusing.
It doesn't have to be. Let's look at examples.
Okay,
If you say, I got a gift, it means you received something.
so get equal sign receive.
If you say, I'm getting tired, it means you are becoming tired.
So get equal sign become.
If you say, I got to the station, it means you arrived.
So get equal sign arrive.
And if you say, I got a new phone, it means you obtained or bought it.
So get equal sign obtain.
Exactly. The meaning changes based on context.
So how do I know which one to use?
You look at the context. What's the situation?
Okay, give me a test.
I got a message from my friend. What does get mean here?
Received.
Perfect. It's getting dark.
Becoming.
Good. I got home at 6.
Arrived.
Excellent. You're getting it.
I see. The context tells you the meaning.
That's the key. Don't memorize definitions. Learn them in sentences.
That's much more practical.
It is, and it's how native speakers learn.
So get is like a Swiss Army knife.
That's a great way to describe it. It's a tool that does many things.
And you need to know which tool to use based on the situation.
Exactly. Now let's talk about take. This verb is used in many common phrases.
Like what?
Take can mean physically hold something, but it's also used for time and actions.
Give me an example.
You can say, take a break when you stop working to rest.
So I don't make a break? I take it.
Exactly. It's take a break.
What else?
You can take a look at something to examine it.
So I don't look at it. I take a look.
Both work, but take a look is more common in everyday English.
So take a look is the natural way to say it.
Yes, and you can take a walk, take a shower, and take a seat.
So take is used with many activities.
That's right. It's a very versatile verb.
And it's not just for physical things.
No, it's also used for time. It takes 30 minutes to get to work.
So take is also for time.
Yes, take time, take a minute, take a day.
What about take medicine? I used to say eat medicine.
That's a very common mistake. We take medicine, not eat medicine.
So I take medicine, I take a break, I take a look.
Perfect.
One more. Take a test or give a test.
Students take a test. Teachers give a test.
So I take tests.
Yes, and you also take a photo or take a picture.
I used to say make a photo.
That's another common mistake. We take photos, not make them.
I'm learning so much today.
That's the goal. Now let's look at put and make, and how they're different from do.
What's the difference?
Put means to place something in a position.
Like, put the book on the table.
Exactly. And make means to create something or cause a result.
Like make dinner or make a decision.
Yes. And do is used for tasks or activities.
So do homework, but make a cake.
Exactly. Do is for tasks, make is for creating something.
And put is for placing things.
That's a great summary.
Let me test myself. Put your shoes on. That's placing.
Yes.
Make dinner. That's creating a result.
Yes.
Do laundry. That's a task.
Perfect.
I think I understand the difference now.
Good. But let me add one more layer.
What?
Make is also used for decisions. Make a decision. Make a choice.
So I don't do a decision.
No. You make a decision.
So put is physical. Make is creative.
That's a great way to remember it.
So if I'm placing something, use put. If I'm creating something, use make.
And do for tasks.
That's the framework.
Now you've got it. Let me share 5 useful phrases you can use starting today.
I'm ready.
Number 1. Get up. This means to wake up and leave your bed.
I get up at 7 a.m. every day.
Perfect.
What's number 2?
Number 2. Take a break. Take a break from work or study.
I need to take a break right now.
Good. Number 3. Make a decision.
I need to make a decision about my English goals.
That's a great one. Number 4. Keep in touch.
Let's keep in touch after this episode.
And number 5. Give it a try.
I'll give it a try. Using these phrases every day.
That's it. 5 phrases you can use right away.
Let me repeat them. get up, take a break, make a decision, keep in touch, give it a try.
That's a perfect list.
And they all use the verbs we learned today.
Exactly. You're already using them.
I like that these are simple but useful.
That's the point. You don't need complicated words. You need to use the right simple words.
So I can sound natural with these 5 phrases?
Yes, native speakers use these phrases all the time.
I'm going to practice these every day.
That's exactly what you should do. Let's recap what we learned today.
First, go is away from the speaker. Come is toward the speaker.
Second, get can mean receive, become, arrive, or obtain.
Third, take is used for time and common actions like take a break.
Fourth, put is for placing things. Make is for creating something.
And fifth, 5 useful phrases. Get up, take a break, make a decision, keep in touch, give it a try.
That's a perfect recap.
Here's your challenge. Write a sentence using at least 3 of the verbs we learned today.
At least 3?
Yes, use go, come, get, take, put, or make in one sentence.
That's a real challenge.
It is. But I want to see what you can do.
Let me try. I get up at 7, go to work, and come home at 6.
That's 3 verbs in one sentence.
Exactly. Go, come, and get.
That's a good sentence. Now you do it.
I usually make dinner and then take a break before doing my homework.
That's make and take.
And do.
Nice. Now it's your turn. Write your sentence in the comments.
If this episode helped you, share it with someone who struggles with English verbs.
And if you wrote a sentence, share it in the comments.
Next week, we're going to talk about something even more important.
What is it?
How to use phrasal verbs naturally in everyday conversation.
That sounds useful.
It is, and you won't want to miss it.
Subscribe to King English Podcast for more episodes like this.
Thank you for listening.
Keep practicing. And remember, the best way to learn verbs is to use them.
See you in the next episode.